All right, so guys, now let's build out these components to change the password, and we're going to start by building the function in our auth services. So come to auth services, and then let's just scroll down to the last function we created, and I guess that's to update the user. So I'll just highlight this function like so. Okay, so I guess this is where it ends, and then let's just duplicate it downwards. Now change the name to change password. Change password. Aha. Now when we want to change the password, we are going to expect some form of data, and that data is going to come from this form. So I guess I can just leave this form data here, but the URL is definitely going to change. So it's axios.patch, because we want to change only the password, API users, and change password. So this change password word. Aha, so that's it. And then we are sending the form data, which is going to contain the old password and the new password. So that's about it for this function. So we can now go and go to our file explorer, and we're just going to create a component. I will call that component change password. So where is the component? Our folder is so big right now. Okay, so here I'll first create a folder, and I'll call that change password. And then, oh, I didn't spell that change correctly, ANGE. Okay, and then inside of it I'll then create a file. So change password.js, and it needs to be capital letter, and then I'll just hit enter on that one, and then do RAFCE to create my boilerplate. Aha, let's go ahead and save. Okay, so I don't think the change password needs any unique CSS file. I doubt it does, because we have utility classes for all of this stuff. So I would, okay, I think it does. Okay, it does have a small class. So I'm just going to bring in the style, so you can check our repository for the style. So just dump the style here. Aha, so here I'm just going to import the CSS file, import // change password.scss. Great, save that, and then we can close this guy up. Now what we're going to do is we're going to, in our edit profile, just below the, let me see, yeah, so return statement, just below this first card, we're going to create another card. Or do we really need to create a card? I think we can just point to the component. So after the card here, so right here, I'm just going to add a line break to just give a space, and then I'll just say component and change password, and then I'll just close that and import it. Okay, it's taking some time to auto import. Aha, so we have it here. So just go ahead and click that and then save. Okay, so if you come to this guy here and you click on profile first and then edit profile, you should see that we now have change password here. Aha, so now we can just focus on the change password.js. All right, so here we'll start from the logic. After the logic, we'll now create the component return statement. So it's going to be very similar to some things we've done before. For example, in our login, we just had this form data, this one here, and then it had this initial state. So you know what, let me just grab the initial state first here. I'll copy that and just come to my change password, slot that at the top. Now this initial state, I'm going to change this to password. Then it's going to have old password first, because we want to first get the value of the old password. Aha, then it's going to have password and then password 2. All right, so we'll first compare what is in the database, that's the old password. If it corresponds, we'll now send this password and change it. Okay, great. Now let's bring in the form data. So here, back to login page, and I'll just grab this form data and the destructuring below it, copy that, and then I'll just come to my change password and slot that inside of the component here. Aha, so we don't have useState. Let's import useState from React. Okay, now this time what do we want to destructure here? Well, we want to destructure the old password, then the password, as well as the password too. Okay, so we've destructured that. Then what do we do next? Let's have a function to handle the impute change. So here I'm just going to grab this handle impute change, copy that, slot that in here. Okay, then what next? We'll have the function that will fire when we try to change the password. So I'll just say arrow function. In fact, let's just make it asynchronous arrow function straight away, and then it's going to say change pass. I'll shorten it, and then let's have our e here. Then we'll prevent the default, so e dot prevent default. Okay, now I think we should just build out the function while we're here, because it's not a very big function. So I'll just say, first off, I'll check if the validation, if password, that's password 1, is not equal to password 2. So if the password 1 and password 2 do not match, then I just want to return an error. So I'll say return toast.error. Say new passwords do not match. And then let me just import toast from React Toastify as well. Okay, now what if the passwords match and we don't get this return statement? What do we do? Well, I'm just going to come here and put the I'll create a form data variable, so form data, and that's just going to be equal to, so what I want to send is, I want to send the old password, then I want to send the password as well, password. All right, so how do we send that? Well, I just got to come down here and just say await, and I'll call the change password function. So change password, which is coming from our auth services. And then what do we want to send to the back end? We want to send the form data. So that's it. Okay, so now if we're able to do that, then I'll just do toast.success and just you know what, let me say const here and data. Okay, that's going to be equal to, just to be sure, what did I return here? I returned response.data, and the data I returned was password changed. Let me be sure. I need to actually confirm. Let me go to the back end, or rather let me check my Insomnia, because I'm sure I returned something in Insomnia. So what I returned was password changed successfully. So technically what that means is that here in the front end, in my change password, I can just do a toast notification of the data, and that's it. All right, so now we just need to build out the form that will just handle everything. So how do we go about that? I'm going to come here and give this div a class name of change password. Okay, let's bring this down, and we're just going to have a card. let's import the card and give it a card class of password card, password hyphen card. So inside here we're just going to have some input field. So first of all, I'll just have my h3. Okay, then below the h3 I'll now have a form. So form that's going to have an on submit of change pass rather. So let's go inside the form, and this form I'm going to give the class of form control, class name, and dash dash form hyphen control. Okay, so let's come inside the form. What do we have in the form? We have, let me just look at what we finished product. So we have input fields and then button. So the first one is just going to be an input. You know what, since I've done this before in my login page, let me just grab the input field in the login page. It has a password field. So this is the email and this is the password. I'll just grab this password field, copy that, and then I'll just slot it inside my change password. So paste that in. So type of password, this is going to say old password, and then the name is also going to be old password. So let me just add old. Then the value is going to be same. Okay, handle input change. Yeah, so I can simply just go ahead and duplicate this, like 1 2. Or no, not duplicate it, let me paste it again, because I think so this is going to be password 1. So just highlight, sorry, this will say new password, new, and then this is just going to say password 1. There's no password 1, it's just password. Is password and password 2. So I almost forgot. Paste that, and here we're just going to say confirm new password, and this is now going to say password 2. Yeah. Then lastly, we're going to have a button. So button dot dash dash btn dot dash dash btn hyphen primary, and then it's just going to say reset password. It should actually say change password. Okay, then it's going to be, the button is going to be a type of submit. Okay, go ahead and save. And I believe those are the things we need for us to be able to save our password. So just to confirm, we have the old password here. Okay, then we have the password, then we have password 2. So I'll scroll up, and here we compare the password and password 2, and then what we are sending to the backend API is the old password and the password 1 or password. So let's go ahead and test this out. I'll come here and then I'll just can I remember my password? Okay, so this is it, and I think my password is user123. So I'm just going to change it to Zeno123, and here Zeno123. Change password. So you see, password changed successful. So that's about it for how we can change our password. And of course, when you change your password, maybe you want to either clear this form or you want to navigate to the profile page or something, just do something. So for me, I'll just navigate to the profile page because I think that's a lot easy to take us back to the profile page. So let me bring in use navigate. So I will say use navigate, use navigate, Ctrl X, and then I'll just create the navigate function somewhere here. const navigate, that's going to be equal to use navigate like so, and then just after the function here I will navigate to the forward slash, sorry, quote first then forward slash profile. Okay, go ahead and save. Now if I try to log in again, I will need to actually change my password. So let me just log out here, and then let me just try to log in with user123, user123, and then we should be able to get an error that the password invalid email or password. But if I change this to Zeno123, then I should be able to log in. So you see, it's telling me to update my password. Just close that. So technically we can say that we've been able to add the functionality to update our password. So thank you so much. I'll see you in the next one.